everyone. I'm sure you can tell from my voice, just like many of you, that I have also just rolled out of bed for the excitement to see that Kingdom Hearts 4 has finally dropped a new trailer and it looks amazing. I figured it'd be really great for all of us to go through the trailer together and give you my opinions, how I feel the outcome of Kingdom Hearts 4 might be, or just my opinions about the video entirely. So let's roll into it. Hi, just an editor's note now that I'm a little more awake and have had a cup of coffee. I say Celestia like throughout the entire video. I meant Strelitzia. Strelitzia? I'm really sorry if I can't say her name right. But just to give you a heads up, every time I say this person's name, I'm meaning this person's name. My apologies. I'm going back to have my cup of coffee. Bye. Well, let's start at the beginning. So something I'm really excited for right off the bat is that we finally have a new name for this new arc, the Lost Master arc. I think that's so cool. I honestly think coming from something as just as simple as the Xehanort arc or the Xehanort sagas, what the fan base has kind of called it, it's clearly that we're talking about the Masters and Masters and kind of more going into that and watching more of the trailer. We finally get a little bit of a sneak peek to kind of see what he's up to. I really think also these little floating black things are interesting. When I first saw them, they reminded me a lot of those the little black things from Big Hero 6. I'm sorry that they're slipping my mind. Like I said before, just woke up having a cup of coffee and reacting to this. But yeah, they really reminded me of those like things from Big Hero 6. So my theory that I had been thinking about from watching this, and obviously it could be completely wrong, is I'm really curious by Virum Rex and if maybe Sora has taken Virum Rex's body as like a host body, considering he doesn't have a body anymore. And then this, oh my god, Celestia. That's crazy. So it seems like he's only been here for 7 days, from what she says. The Quadratum. I'm gonna say it wrong. It's so weird seeing, like, a good weird. It's like a good weird to see such, like, realistic looking people and cars and buildings when, like, you're used to the gang like hanging out in a magical forest with Disney characters. So it's definitely really interesting to see this. But what Celestia says here, I think it's really interesting. It's but for you and I, it is similar to an afterworld, I suppose, which when we get to the end of the trailer, we have a big theory. Well, not a big theory. I have a theory about it. Gotta say, I love Darkseid's new makeover. Very, very ripped, very thick. Love that. So cool. So gameplay. Gameplay is definitely the coolest thing about this entire thing. I still love the fact that Sora is able to do flow motion. I'm really hope we're over the fact of, okay, Sora's in a new game and he probably forgot about a lot of stuff now because X, Y, and Z, and like, I really hate that because I think the best part of Sora as a character is that, considering we've been with him for 20 years and we've seen how he has progressed, like physically, mentally as a character, that none of his strengths, like physical strengths, really kind of carry on with him within a lot of games. If it does, it's always like small little things. Like to be honest, I understand like why in 3 he did not have what he had in prior games because due to failing, like the exam. I still think it was understandable, but I think it was unfortunate. So it's really interesting in this one to see that he still has like flow motion. I really like that hook thing that he uses, like the back of the Keyblade in order to swing around. This is very Versus 13 also, this entire thing with him going through this little hallway and like gliding out. But I think it looks really cool. And it kind of looks like they're bringing back like some type of reaction commands here, which is great. I'm really hoping Nomura took a lot of the feedback that the fan base had given him about 3 and is going to implement it into this game. And yeah, here we finally get to see what looks to be the Masters of Masters and Luxu. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw it, I thought it was completely different people, and I was about to be like, please don't tell me we're having more organization members, but then I was like, okay, no, it's the both of them. So unbelievable. so unbelievable that it's here. And then here's the part that I think is the most interesting. So it's Donald and Goofy, and they're just kind of walking. Obviously, they're at first I watched this not subbed, so I thought maybe they were looking for him, like looking for Sora. But right at the end, it becomes very obvious who they're like finding, and it's Hades. Like they're looking for Hades, and at first I was like, "That's so interesting. Like, why are they looking for Hades?" But it makes complete sense now because if you go back, to see what Celestia has said, how they're basically in a afterlife. So who better than Hades to help them find Sora? If Sora is technically dead, Hades is probably the best person. And I think it's really interesting to see that like the underworld is probably not as like alive and crazy as it was like in 2, because everything we've probably done to Hades. So I don't know how well they'll be able to negotiate with Hades to try to get Donald and Goofy in there. Also, because the art style is obviously more realistic, I'm really curious to see what a Donald and Goofy is going to look like in this new like realistic looking world. But I'm really excited. I think it's really cool that we're finally just jumping right back into a main story game instead of just all these side games. And not that I hate the side games, like Birth by Sleep is probably like my second favorite like Kingdom Hearts game. I think it just added so much to the world, and I do like a lot of the characters. Like Ventus is one of my favorite Kingdom Hearts characters. I just think we're at a point now where like every character's questions were most likely answered, except for maybe some of the characters from like Union Cross and Dark Roads, which Dark Roads will get its conclusion finally in August of this year. That I don't think it's necessary. I mean, we are still technically getting a mobile game, and it looked like that was more focused with Brain and what he's been up to after the events of Union Cross. So I don't think it's necessary. And, you know, we're just also in an age where video games, they you can't make them as fast as you want to have like such great quality to them. So if Nomura wanted to make like another side game, I don't think it would be able to come out as quick as like, even if you probably look at the distance between like 358, Birth by Sleep, Coded, and Birth by Sleep, like there's not large gaps like in between them. Like there's not like a 5 to 6 year gap in between like each game. At most it's probably like 2 or 3 years. And I don't think we're at a point where we can do that to give like the quality that people would be asking for. And I also think there's like a lot of people don't want the games anymore on like 3-4 different consoles, you know. Like I mean, I said this in my Rechain of Memory videos, I was very fortunate as a kid to have everything, but I definitely know people who love Kingdom Hearts where they were really glad to see the games ported over to PS4 and Xbox, because like that was their first time playing it. Like they didn't have Game Boys, you know, Game Boy Advances or PSPs, you know, like I said, I'm someone who's very fortunate to have all those things growing up. But not everybody was or could be as fortunate as that. And I think now is probably a better time to just like kind of lay that down. Mobile games are one thing. It doesn't matter what kind of phone you have. The new mobile game looks interesting. I'm a inappropriate language. I'm a slut for collectathons, so I think that's one of the reasons why I really like Dark Roads, because I love like card based collecting, and I really like the fact that you can collect statues of the characters in the new mobile game. Oh, what was it called? It's like Missing Link. I think that's what it's called. Let me double check. Yeah, Missing Link. It's called Missing Link. Yeah, I you know, I'll give it a shot. I never really doubt anything until I'll try it. I'm a big, as you guys know, I'm a big Nier fan, and I said the same thing for Nier Reincarnation. I really like Nier Reincarnation, and even though I'm still not 100% certain how it connects to like the Nier like world, if it does, but I enjoyed for the most part, and like I enjoyed Union Cross in chunks. Dark Roads I probably enjoyed more than Union Cross, and I think it's just more from a gameplay standpoint. But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think will be the outcome of Kingdom Hearts 4? Are you guys interested to see what Viram Rex is up to? I know I am. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with him. My theory about him is that since Sora doesn't really have a body anymore, did he like borrow a body? Like, did he take Viram Rex's body, or like because now they're in this alternate like universe, like everything resets and it's fair game? Like, have Sora and Celestia been like reincarnated and now they're able to have like physical forms again? And it also seems by like at the end of what the Master of Masters was saying that they like even if they go back, they don't have their original forms anymore. So it's like what's gonna happen with that? But I think this was great. My only thing is I hope that this isn't going to be something that they drop and we're not going to see something from it for like a very long time. I really don't want a repeat of Kingdom Hearts 3 where we're just going to drop a trailer and we're not going to talk about it again for like another year, and then another couple of years will go by and then maybe we'll get a release date. That's my biggest fear. But I personally think Tetsuya Nomura has gotten a lot of feedback. I think his team's gotten a lot of feedback about what the fans want, and what they're looking for, and a lot of the corrections to move forward with this series. And I love that. I really think sometimes listening to the audience is a good form of feedback. Oh, obviously, obviously that's not always the case. But I agree with a lot of the fan base on their opinions about 3, where I love 3. I think 3 answered a lot of my questions, which is what I really wanted out of 3, was like to make sure like each character's arc was completed and had a happy ending, and I got that. I just don't think a lot of like I don't think Sora's personality was as great in 3 as like let's say compared to 2. I'm never really happy about the DLC payment wall and all that stuff. So I'm really hoping moving forward with this one we're gonna get a better outcome. I'm sorry if I'm rambling. Like I said, right now for me it is 8:30 in the morning, and I woke up at 7:30 to watch this and make this, and I sound probably so raspy because that's how I always am first thing in the morning before drinking coffee or anything like that. But I hope you guys like the video. If you like more videos like this, maybe I'll try to stay more up to date with Kingdom Hearts content. I hope not to sound like this in the future as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video and have a great one. Bye!